Helen, let me ask you a question. Helen, hear me?
Yeah.
The CSP course, I call you many times. Did you hear me?
The which course?
CSP review yesterday.
Yeah, I was. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I had. I'm sorry. I fell asleep.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. If you cannot answer or you think that you have your own review, you don't want to answer the question, it's okay. We actually keep asking student questions. So if you want to participate to the answering the question in the rotation, I'll put you in. If you don't want it, that's okay. Okay.
Yes, please put me in. I'm sorry. I had a speech competition yesterday, so I was very tired.
Yeah. But also one more thing, you have to work on those CSP practice because when you didn't work on it before, right?
No, I haven't, but
Yeah,
I
you have,
will. I
so
will.
you have to. This is CSA. I don't worry about it too much, but CSP you do have to work harder
I will.
because that will be easier to get a 4.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
we have to get started. So we have Helen, Elaine, Benjamin, and Xavier. Okay, again we text to Anani. We'll get started soon. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we have to get started. This week we are on inheritance and polymorphism. And basically, this chapter will be the last year the AP student test the inheritance and polymorphism. So it's a very last year AP CSP will have this topic. And 2022, they removed the abstract class and interface. But this year they have this one. But next year, 2025 to 2026, the inheritance and polymorphism will also be removed. So after that, I think that the CSA course will become a semester course. It doesn't have the value of taking CSA anymore. It will be too easy for computer science student, and it will just be roughly 1 month in college. Okay, it's not even a course. It's even not a college course. Anyway, that's actually what will happen. For you, the student who will take the AP ComSci A test this year, we will still need to study this inheritance and polymorphism. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, in this chapter, the most important thing is concept. You have to know about the concept, inheritance, polymorphism, super keyword, overriding and overloading, and the reference and object. Reference are reference, object are object, class are class. These are different concepts. You have to really understand what they are. And then casting. Okay, so we basically review on these different topics, and then we'll go to the problem. So this week's lecture time may be shorter, okay, because it's not a lot of topic. So anyway, for object-oriented programming, you need to learn everything here as a table. So class, you need to know how to design a class, and then what is the reducer class for object class that actually has some function that's incomplete. What is in interface that has no data, may be constant but no data, and then there are some object function that's incomplete but no constructor as interface. Then you need to know what is static class variable, class function, and what is instance function, instant variable, what is constant, what is function, okay, for statics. And then what is object? Object is the data entity in the heap. Reference is the variable that holding the address. And what is container? Container is a array or array list or a 2D array that actually contains some data entity in there. And array list type of the data entity, you can specify the type. So we call it generic container. Okay, and there are also generic method and generic iterator. Okay, iterator. So there's a different generic topic, but these are not tested in AP, but we cover it anyway. And then you need to know about visibility, the public, protected, default, and private, plus, minus, nothing, and field. Okay, and the field. You need to know about it. These are the different and access modifier. Okay, this actually is the visibility. And then encapsulation, information hiding, replicas, immutable. This part you need to know about private data, public method for encapsulation. Replicas, you need to know about the auto boxing, auto unboxing. Okay. And then you need to know about primitive data type that don't have the method. And then you need to know about the regular class, the replicas that have method. You need to know about immutable class that has 3 rules, private data, and then all setter need to be and there's no setter and no getter with return the reference type. Okay, these are the rules that you need to ensure you know about these different rules. Relationship, you need to know about what is has a relationship, what is a relationship. And then you need to know about many-to-one, that's called aggregation, many-to-many, that's association. These two may happen on certain order set of the practice, okay? But I mark it as a gray, that means that no longer tested. Coherence, some concept of coherence, inheritance is a relationship. Then you need to know about what is base class, what is a super class. And then you need to know about this reference. This is a default variable, default reference that's talking about current object. And another use of this is use this as the constructor name when you call the constructor. And then super talking about your super class. And multiple inheritance, you need to know about in Java, there's only one superclass, multiple interface, that super multiface, you can, that is allowed. And then next one, you need to know about polymorphism, that actually is, you may have polymorphic container, polymorphic method, and polymorphic iterator. Okay, these are, polymorphic means that a data can be changed for different reference type, especially it's an object. You can have an object of the certain class and reference of its parent or grandparent class type reference. That's possible. And then you need to know about what's overloading, what's overriding. Overloading is the same function name, same signature in the same class. I'm sorry, same function name, different signature, different parameter list in the same class. That's called overloading. Overriding is the same function name, same parameter, but different class, subclass, and parent class. Okay, these are actually something you need to know. Dynamic binding, actually, you need to know about when you search for the function to run, you will go to your current object class. Remember, it's object type, not the reference type. Reference is the address holder. Object is the object created in the in the heap. An object type actually, when you have a reference of different type or its parent type as a reference, then your object will lose some feature. So you have to know about what is dynamic binding. And the last one is polymorphic methods. Okay, using generic polymorphic function or using the grandparent object type as the data type. So these are overview of the object-oriented programming topic. You need to remember all of them, and then every day you need to practice this using this table. Talk to yourself, making sure you understand everything. So object-oriented programming, you have the encapsulation. Encapsulation is to make your object to have security, private data field, so outside or client class cannot access your data field, must using getter and setter to access them. And then you have inheritance. Inheritance is a relationship. Talking about you get your data field and function from your parent class. Okay, that's actually called is a relationship. And then you have polymorphism. Polymorphism basically is a class membership idea. Your parent class or grandparent class can be used as your reference type, and then they will be the same similar group of class. So when there's a function that can deal with the parent class, then all of the subclasses can be processed. This is called polymorphism. So usually you have polymorphic method, polymorphic container, and polymorphic iterator. So here, these are different basic idea of the OOP, and today we will talk about inheritance. So inheritance, that you have the superclass and subclass, okay? And then you use extends to talk about the superclass and subclass. Remember, if you actually write the class design for Q2, the FRQ Q2, you also need to remember whether there is a subclass or superclass need to extend or not, okay? And usually base class is simpler. It's actually more conceptual. And then subclass usually is bigger. It's more specific, more detailed implementation, okay? These are the basic concepts. So inheritance provide effective mechanism for code reuse. The main purpose is reuse the code. And then also the membership sharing the same process functions. So here you may have person inherited by student employee and student inherited by graduate student and undergraduate student. This form a hierarchy of the classes. So student is a relationship, is a student person. Employee is also one kind of person. Okay, this is a relationship. And you use the is a test. You will know about whether student is a person or student has a person. It doesn't make sense to use as a, right? So it's more likely it's actually is a relationship. So in a relationship, are actually talking about the inheritance relationship, okay? Okay, and the subclasses usually have the function that been redesigned. If they are redesigned, we call it overriding. But the overriding may not happen because you may not want to redefine your function or the data field. In that case, we will use your parents design. If you don't have the inheritance, if you don't have the overriding, then you will use the function defined in your parent class. So a class subclass, the subclass is the subclass name, extend the superclass. This is called inheritance. This is create a relationship. We can also say that subclass is a specialization, more specific, is a specialization of the superclass. A superclass usually is more general, more abstract, more generic, okay? And if you use interface, it's not extends, it's called implement. Implement is, so it actually implement the abstract function. Because interface, in the interface, there's only the abstract function. So for example, you have the comparable. You have comparable interface, and the implements will implement the compare to function. Okay, compare to function. Compare to function will be tested. Okay. So this one for Vanelli, what type of the data or data type that compare to function will return? Vanelli, hear me? Yeah.
Integer.
And usually, what kind of integer you should return? Yeah, it's an integer. That's correct. But what value usually will be returned? So if I have A compared to B, then what are the value I should return? It is an integer, so what kind of integer I need to return? Usually it's 1 if A greater than B. It's 0 if A equals B. Will be -1 if A less than B. Okay, remember this, okay? This is very important. There are cases that they want you to write a compare to function in the class. It's actually happened before. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yeah.
Must remember this compare to function. They are FRQ question asking you to write the compare to function. Okay, they are also multiple choice problem. Need you to check if the compare to function is well implemented. Okay. Next one is super keyword. Super keyword is used to talk about the super class. Okay. So when you call super as a constructor, let's assume that you have a subclass. So you have constructor. Your super constructor must be put on the first line. If you don't write it, say you don't write, if you don't write it, they will automatically give you a free super no argument constructor. They'll give you a free super no argument constructor. So that actually you need to keep in mind. This is super keyword has two major rule. That is, for the constructor, you cannot put the super anywhere but not the first line. That's not allowed. You must put it on the first line. But if you don't put it on the first line, then they will give you free. If you don't write anything, they will still give you the free constructor, super, no argument on the first line for free. They will automatically call that. So that's actually when you trace a program, usually when you have the multiple choice problem, they want you to call the super function, but they do not write it. You have to assume that there is a super no constructor need to be used. And you need to call that function. You cannot say, I don't know. I don't have that function. Okay. So super keyword, you can use a super constructor. You can use a super as a class name to call the getA function from the super class getA. So you may have getA function. Your B class subclass might have a getA function. You may have a definition. For example, here might have its own getA function. That is the called overriding. So this one override this one. Okay. So if you have a B object, say you have the class, you have a class AA equals new B. So this is the B object and A reference. So you can run A.getA. Then you will run this black version of the getA right here. Okay. This is called polymorphism. Okay. But if you in the program say not saying this, you say super that getA somewhere in some code of the class B, then that one will call this green version of the getA, because you already talked about it's the superclass getA function. So this you need to keep in mind how this different thing work. So you have a superclass, you have a subclass. So subclass actually will inherit all the data and function from your superclass. Okay, you inherit all of them. And then you have your own data fields and your own constructor and your own HR data methods. So if you do AA equals new B, then you create a B object, but it's A reference. Because it's A reference, so you only can see this part. You can call this function right here. If you, at this moment, you say A.C, sorry, you cannot access that because that belongs to the B object. That doesn't belong to A reference. You try to use the A.getC to call this function. Sorry, that's not allowed. Because that's your class B's definition. Your A reference cannot see it. Right now, you are B object and A reference, you will not see that. Actually, you also need to know. But if you call A.getA, right here, if you also have a getA function, let's assume that you also have a getA function. At this moment, you will run the child version. That's called overriding. You will not call this one. You will not, because it is you don't see that function, but you will see the overriding version. You will see the overriding version. You will not see the parent version, unless that you call super.getA. Then you will call the superclass getA. Okay, so this is a function reference. You need to remember the overriding case. That's called polymorphism as well. Any questions so far? Hello?
No.
So this chart you must keep in your mind. Okay, I draw this by myself. There's nobody drawing this kind of a diagram for you. Okay, you must keep it in your mind. So here we do have a memo. A memo have a vertebrate, milk producer. That's a yes or no. Okay, these are yes or no. And then hair color. Okay, so you have memo constructor, meal producer, and then you actually memo must be meal producer. Okay, memo vertebrate, and then you set the hair color 3 variable and 2, and then there are 2 is these are 3 getters. So your dog is 10 memo. So dog is one kind of the memo. Okay, so But dog has an extra data field called name of the dog. So here you have a name. Okay. So basically your memo is like this. You have the V data, M data, and hair data, okay? And then your dog data field, you will have a memo inside as a V, M, and H. And then it will have an extra data field called name over here. Okay. Then you need to deal with the dog and memo based on the object type and reference type to determine what he can do or what he cannot do. Okay. And casting is you created a certain object. Then casting is the coercion. Coercion means forcing. You may have a AA equals new B. So B is the subclass, A is the superclass. And then later you can say, my A will be forced to B type. So your BB equals parenthesis BA. Then this B is the B reference. And originally it's built by B object. So after this conversion, the B reference pointing to B object. And this A reference pointing to B object. Okay, so these are casting and original setup. These are key concepts you need to know. Okay. It's called casting. Casting is forcing it to a different type. Okay, so basically you force a parent reference to a child reference, then your visibility become bigger because you can see more of the data field and functions. But that actually under the assumption of the object must be the subclass type. If your object is parent type, you cannot do that. So it's not okay that you have AA equals new A, but you try to convert the A reference to B reference because you have an A object pointing to by the A reference. By A reference, you try to force it to become B reference. That's impossible because your object do not have the B data field and B type of the functions. Okay, you do not have that. So that is not okay. Any questions so far?
No.
Debbie, are you okay so far?
Yeah.
So a subclass inherit all of the public and protected method of its superclasses. Okay. Okay, this part I think okay. So in the student example, undergraduate student and graduate student subclasses inherited all of the method and data field from the student superclass. Notice that, however, the student instance name, test, and grade are private. So if they are private, then the subclasses cannot directly access them. They exist, but you cannot directly access them. Okay. A subclass, however, directly invoke the public accessors, getter or mutators, setters from the superclass that actually is allowed. Okay. But if the function is a private function, then you cannot allow it. Okay. Okay, this part, okay. Next one is overriding. Okay. Overriding happens when you have a subclass, and then the subclass want to redefine the method. So usually is that your superclass may have rectangle as your superclass, and then you have subclass called prism. And you have a subclass called square. So when you define the area, rectangle is width times height. A square actually is the width equals height, but using the width times height, that's okay. So this one will not have a new definition for get area. So there is no overriding in square. But prism, you may want to do surface area for prism. This is a prism. So you may want to have a surface area. So you actually need to redefine the get area. Then this is the redefinition, we will call it overriding. Override is to redefine your method. Okay, redefine your method, defining your parent class. Usually, when you have different implementation, your get area is different from your parent's version, you'll do that, okay? And this overridden function, usually if you do dynamic binding or do polymorphism, it will run your objects type overridden functions, okay? So sometimes the code for overriding is including the code to the superclass. This is called partial overriding. So inside, say, let's assume that you have a get area in your prism, but inside this get area, you may also call super get area and calculate for some value and for other use. In that case, we call it partial overriding. Okay, partial overriding. Override, but you need to call your parent's superclass reference, define of the function that we call it partial reference. Okay. So for example, super that compute grade, then you will use the compute grade function of your parent class. But this may happen in your subclass grade. So you can do partial definition of the compute grade from the superclass definition. And then later, based on that number, you write your own version of a compute grade. That's called partial overriding. Partial overriding, okay? Constructor also have, you will automatically get a super no argument constructor, okay? Sometimes if you redefine by yourself, you call a super constructor with parameter, that's fine. If you call it, it's fine, okay? And then the automatic one will not be added, okay, in that case. So right here, you have undergraduate constructor, and then you will call super. This is super will be calling the student class constructor, okay? And this one is a redefined function, okay? Because it is not the no argument version. It is calling the student constructor with parameter. Let me see how many slides we have so far. Okay, we are about in the middle. Any questions so far?
No.
No? So we have graduate student, you reset it. So graduate student, this is no argument version. This is with argument version, okay? So with arguments version, you can also call the student's constructor right here. You will call the student constructor. with some parameter there. Okay, with some parameter there. Okay, subclasses. So subclasses add new private instance data field. Okay, you will add some data field to there. You will add new public private static methods. You will override the inherited methods. It may not define public method as private. You cannot make a private function as a public method as private, or you cannot make a private function as public. That's not allowed. You also cannot redefine the static method if your superclass has a static method that belong to the superclass, but you cannot override the static methods. So this actually is true for Python, Java. This is true for Java, but not true for Python. Okay, this point is not true for Python. Python do allow static method and class method. Python static method and class method are separate idea, but in Java, static is class is still static. Okay, so this is a little bit different right here. Okay. So subclass should define its own constructor. Yes. Subclass cannot directly as a private member of the superclass. Yes. So here you have student S equals new student, this, okay. And student U equals undergraduate. So this one is a student reference undergraduate object, okay. Student reference and graduate object, okay. So this is actually okay. I think it's okay. Okay, and you can call the function, you can call the function defined in the superclass, okay? As long as they are public methods. Okay, next one is polymorphism. Polymorphism is the overriding of the methods. So you can override the method and then in different reference type, you call different function, and then they will, based on the dynamic binding, to determine which function you really call, okay? So this one is a dog with name and breed, okay? And then there's a poodle. Poodle is stem dog. So this is a poodle who is super. This one is setting the data field that dog has. And then there's one extra data field called need grooming. And then need grooming will be set by your child class as parameters. So these two are data field that parent class already has. So you feed them into your super constructor. This one, you don't have it in your super class, so you need to set to a new variable in your new class. Any questions so far?
No.
No? So dog may have poodle, pit bull, dash hunt. Okay, I don't know what kind of dog this one is. Okay, anyway. And they are eat function. Every dog can eat. Okay, but these different dog may eat in different way. So you may have an eat function defined right here. And then each one may have their own eat function. So yes, you can call all the dog to eat. But when you run the dog array to eat, then different dog will eat different way. Okay, that's called polymorphism. And a different way means that they will call their own version of get a eat. Okay, they'll use their own. But if this Dutch hound, the dog who do not have the eat definition, then this kind of a dog will eat like a dog. It will not eat like a poodle or pit bull. Okay, that actually you need to keep in mind. So they are static binding and dynamic binding. Static binding is available in C++, but not in Java, so we don't need to think about it right now. Okay. Dynamic binding bind with at the runtime. Okay, anyway, this example, I don't think that's necessary. This is polymorphism. Okay, so let's look at this. You have funny person, you drink and eat. So that would be cup or fork. Okay. You drink with cup, eat with fork. Okay. That's actually your primary person. But there's a baby, then when baby eat, that will use a hand. So this one will override the eat function defined in the primary person. Then there's a spoke user, and a spoke user will use spoke instead of using fork. So this actually is the example for the eat function. Okay, whatever. Okay. So if person P equal new student, so that would be a student object. Student is yellow color, person is green color. So your person reference will be only accessing the green part of the student. Okay. But if you do student S equal new student, Henry, then that would access the whole yellow part. But your original P reference can be converted to student reference S. Okay. That's the idea. We talked about it already. So parent object to child reference, not okay. Child object to parent reference, that actually is okay. That's the only thing you need to remember. So this is called polymorphic container. You have a list of person type, but in fact, you feed in a student, a person, and a undergraduate. Okay, 3 different object type as a polymorphic reference. Okay, last one is casting. Casting, I think we talked about it already, not hard. Okay, we finish this this inheritance and dynamic. So not hard. Let's go to the problem now. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, you need to download your file, okay? Because I think the screen will be small, and then asking you to move around will be difficult. Okay, so you better download your own PDF file. Okay. And also, let me actually emphasize one more time. You better actually you better download it before work on it before the class. Okay, because if you don't work on it, then our discussion is of no use. Okay, it's of no use. So today, let me start from bottom. So first one, let me have Xavier. Xavier, your question one. There is a class called bank account, saving account, and checking account. Tons of the description. So number one, of the methods, how many different non-constructor function can be invoked by saving account? You have to check your own PDF to answer. So how many account that the saving account can use? So right here, we have a definition of the bank account. Let me give you the bank account level.
4.
Mhm. So which four you can call the function?
Add interest in the savings account and then get balance, withdraw, and deposit from the bank account.
Okay, so there are four functions because these are public functions, so your child class can inherit it. Okay. Yes, I think there are four. Okay, four of them. Okay, first one is D. Second one, let me have second person. Second person is Manetti. Manetti, your turn. So which of the following correctly implement the no argument constructor of the saving account? So go back. If you have a saving account right here, no argument constructor, so you want to write this no argument constructor, then what should you do? Going back to the answer list. So 1, 2, 3, Tommy, is 1 okay or not? Is 1 okay or not?
No.
Why not?
Um,
You had to tell me why not. So anybody know why not? Anyone know why this problem 2(1) is not okay?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was because like the interest rates before it sets an interest rate before it, right?
Before what?
Before the constructor.
And then what's wrong with it?
Pretty sure the constructor itself sets a interest rate variable.
No, not because of duplication of it. You actually update the interest rate twice, that's okay. That's not a problem.
Hmm.
Anyone know? How about you then? Do you know?
I'm not completely sure, sorry.
You have to also work on the problems, okay?
Okay.
If you want to learn, we are not talking about how much you can get in the exam. We don't care that you actually did not want to take the exam. But if you want to study, you have to learn it. This one today, we just talk about it more than 5 times. Today, we already talk about it more than 5 times. Anybody know? How about Helen? Helen, hear me? Hello? Too busy, okay. How about Xavier, do you know?
Not sure.
Today I talk about this about many times. the super constructor must be in the first line.
Oh yeah.
Didn't that I talk about more than 3-4 times already? Right? Only
Yeah.
today I talked about it many times. So you have to work on the problem set. If you don't work on the problem set, you don't really think about why this is important. Right?
Yeah.
So is 2 okay or not, Xavier? Okay,
Yeah.
not yours, actually it's Melanie. 2 okay or not? Hi, Melanie, hear me? So 1 not okay, but how about 2? Hi, Melanie, hear me? Hello, hi, Melanie, hear me? Your microphone is open, but I did not hear you. Can you say something? Hi, Melanie, can you say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. So 2 is that okay or not?
Yes.
2, the super part, no matter is like this or 3 like this, it is okay. Both are on the first line, it should be okay. And then 2 have extra interest rate equal 0. It is okay or not?
Yes.
How about 3? 3, you don't set the interest rate, is that okay or not?
Yes.
It is okay. So 2 and 3 both are okay. Because interest rate is a data bill defined in the saving class. So when you define this one, you already set it to 0. This is an instance variable. This is not a local variable. Local variable, you have to define it with value. But instance variable, you don't need that. So both are okay. So this one, the answer is 2 and 3. Okay? You must tell me why you actually is yes or no, okay? This actually is really going to the understanding. So number 3, which is correct implementation of constructor with parameter in saving account? This one for Helen. Helen, are you there? Hello, Helen. Helen, are you there? Okay, pass to Elaine. Elaine, are you there?
Yeah.
So, which one? And you need to tell me why A is okay or not, why B is okay or not. Okay, which one is right or wrong? So this is the correct implementation. So they should have 4 wrong ones, right?
Yeah.
And how do you know that which one is right or wrong? So tell me which one is wrong first and why it is wrong.
I think A is wrong
A is wrong for what?
because you need to like use super, right?
No.
Oh,
Super, if you don't write it, what will happen?
if you don't use super, it's like you can't like properly like
You have to listen to the class carefully. Okay, this is super.
okay.
I talk about it also many times this time. If you don't write a super on the first line, they will give you it automatically for free. So writing in this way, actually they do look like they have a super on top of balance equals account balance. So it is wrong not because you don't have super. It is wrong not because you don't have super. Actually, you do have a super because they will give you for free. Didn't that I talked about this in class? I actually talked about it already, okay? But that's not wrong here. So what's wrong with A?
Is it what they named their variables then?
What variable?
Balance.
What balance? Why balance is wrong?
Because they've never like actually said like they never actually like properly implemented that in the program.
No. That's not the reason. Balance is wrong, but actually balance is not the reason you talk about. You assign something to balance, that's not a problem. It's properly assigned. But balance has another issue that actually make it wrong here. Anybody know why here you write this one wrong?
Is it like a private variable? So it
Yes, it is a private variable. You cannot use your subclass constructor to write a private variable of the parent class. Balance is a private variable for the parent class. You cannot use your child object, child constructor to. You cannot use your child constructor to update it. You cannot. Okay, that's why. You have to work on the problem, okay? My sure princess. Okay. Okay. Then Elaine, what's wrong with B?
For B, is it because you can't like set the get balance equal to the account balance?
Why not?
Because get balance, it's like a method, right?
Method cannot be on the left-hand side, okay? You need to remember that. That method can never be on the left-hand side. So A down, B down. What about C?
For C, you're missing the balance, the account balance part.
Okay, this one is a correct implementation, but here you say that it's a constructor with parameter. So this one is constructor with only rate, but not for the balance. So this one questionable can be wrong. D, you have super account balance and interest rate equal rate. Okay, this one. Okay, D or E. D or E, there is one survive. You have to check your super constructor. So you got a balance constructor, okay, with one argument constructor and no argument constructor from the super class. You have two variable constructor for private. So we are talking about this one, okay? Okay, this one with the parameter, you are talking about this one. So you pass the two value to there. And then E is wrong because E do not have super with rate. So down, 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 down. A is wrong because this one is private data. B is wrong because this one is a method. Method cannot on the left-hand side. This one is wrong because you do not have a parameter. This one is wrong, you have one extra parameter, so only D is correct. Okay? Any question?
No.
We do this kind of review just to tell you how to solve the problem and making sure you understand the details. Okay? That's the purpose of the review. So you need to study hard, but also need to work on the problem. If you don't work on it, and then you don't know what we are talking about. So next one, what is the correct implementation for checking account? This one for Benjamin.
I put D for this one.
I don't care about ABCD. Tell me is one okay or not?
One would be incorrect because it needs two parameters, but it only gives account balance in this case. You have a no constructor and then it needs either, so it's either a no parameters or
It need the two parameter.
it needs account balance and rate.
What are you talking about? We are talking about checking account. What are you talking
Checking,
about?
oh, okay, never mind then. I guess I was looking at the wrong one then. Yeah, then checking account in that case, then that. Yeah, that would be right then. Yeah, okay, yeah, that would be correct then.
Again, for you the same, you need to work on it beforehand, okay?
Yeah, that was the answer I put
So
before
this one, okay. How about this one?
That one, I'm pretty sure. I think it would work, right? Because it's still inheriting from bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So that one would work, I think. Because you have a no constructor and then you're, yeah.
How about this one?
Three, I don't, what should we, I think three would work, but
Why it will work?
trying to think, what would it be depositing to? Actually, I'm not actually sure about this one.
Okay, and one more time. Okay, this is number 6 times I'm talking about today. You don't
Oh,
have
because
a
you don't need
the
to
super will
specify.
be given for free, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So 2 and 3 are exactly the same. Is 2 correct? 3 also be correct. So the answer is E.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So don't tell me A, B, C, D. I don't need A, B, C, D. You have to analyze 1, 2, 3 before you pick a selection. Okay?
All right.
Number 5, go to Davia. A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E. Number 5 for Davia. Which
I think
one?
it's E. I think it's E.
It's E. Okay, so what's wrong with A?
Like it uses the super in like the wrong place.
Why super in the wrong place?
Like or like because because like it doesn't like extend to the bank account.
It doesn't extend the bank account. This is checking account. Of course, you extend the bank account. It's a subclass of the bank account. So going back, this one actually is you have a checking account. Now, you will do the withdraw function. Okay, you withdraw a certain amount, and this amount, $2 will be withdrawn if your balance is less than the minimum amount. Okay. So one more thing you need to know is that your base class also have a withdraw function that can modify this balance function, balance data. Okay. So right here, I would say your E must be wrong. You say E, but E must be wrong. Why? For Xavier, why E must be wrong? You say E, but I say E must be wrong. Anybody know?
Because balance is like private.
Yeah, it's a private variable. You cannot access your base class is a private variable, so it must be wrong. So it's gone. Okay. So another one is wrong. B must be wrong because you will try to get the balance, but you cannot do that. So only A also be wrong because you cannot use the balance. So only C and D left. So is C or is it? So is a C?
I think it's C because
C or D? Why D is wrong?
Because it doesn't use the super with the parameter.
So if you don't use the super with the parameter, what will happen?
Then it gives you like a no parameter one, but then you need a
No,
you need one with-
no. It also had a parameter for withdraw. That's not a problem. Anyone know that what D is wrong?
Without the super, it makes it like recursive. It'll just call itself.
Yes, it becomes recursive function. It becomes recursive function because your withdraw function right here, inside there's another withdraw function. Will call withdraw function by itself. So this is recursive call. If you have a super that withdraw, they will call the version defined in the super class. Here, you don't have the super, then it will call itself. Call itself by recursive law, it is actually okay. But right here, we don't want the recursive call. That's the problem. This one will create recursive call, okay? Xavier, is that okay?
Yeah.
Must work on them, okay? If you keep missing the answer in it, you will be in big trouble. We are trying to help you to do review, and you just try to pile them up. You are going to have a big trouble later, okay? Number 6 for Bernini, what's number 6?
Is it B?
Overriding. This one is an easy question, okay? Number 7 for Helen. Helen, how are you? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Last time I called you, you still not listening. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe
I'm sorry.
maybe your speaker, okay? It's okay,
Yeah.
but remember to pay attention, okay? I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on. I know it's late for you, but you have to try your best, okay?
Right.
So number 7, you have this bank account, saving account, checking account again, okay?
Mhm.
And then we have a bank B, bank account B equals new bank account, bank C, bank S equals this, and bank C, okay. So which method will cause an error?
I think it has to be E because there are no the reference is for bank account, so it can't access the add interest method.
Yes, the interest method is a method for saving account, right? But you don't
Yes.
have it for a bank account, so E is wrong. So cause error, yes, you pick E, okay?
Yep.
Number 8, go to Elen. Elen actually, in order to test polymorphism, which method should be used in the program?
For this one, I think you should use withdraw
Why?
because it's defined in bank account, but you can also check to see if it can be overridden, right?
So,
In like a
so how you define that a function is good to test polymorphism?
if the function can be like used, I mean, if the function can allow like objects to be used in different classes.
You don't know anything. So anyone know that how to test the polymorphism? With interview, we know that you don't know anything. We just talk about this. We actually appear. It's very apparent that you actually do not touch the key points. So anybody know how to test polymorphism? Everyone is welcome to try, okay?
Maybe like test the same method between like a parent class and a subclass, or like multiple subclasses of the same parent.
Why?
Because polymorphism is when you can use like one parent class to access.
You
Different
must have a base
classes.
class and a child class. Both have a method, and this method is redefined in the child class. So when you do polymorphism test, you will pick the dynamic linking that defined in the child class. So you must have a method that both class had a definition. Yes, the answer is withdraw, but you must have the definition for both, because when you test polymorphism, you must make sure that you will search for the version defined in the child class, so that we know that it's dynamic binding, it binds to the closer object. If you don't have the child definition, then you will go to the parent's definition. That will still be true. That will still be true. But in that case, you don't know which version you will test. So basically, you must find a method that actually you have both definition in both parent class and child class, and you test a dynamic binding, and sometimes you delete it one more time to test if it jumped to the parent class or not. So you have to use a method that defined in both classes, parent class and child classes. Okay. Number 9, let me have Benjamin. So we have 1, 2, 3. Tell me is 1 correct or wrong, 2 is correct or wrong, 3 is correct or wrong, and then why they are correct or why they are wrong.
Okay, so bank account B. Okay, so beta transfer. Pretty sure. Okay, so let's see. So the question, the one that I originally put for this one was transfer tends. trying to remember why I chose what I chose.
So tell me, is one okay or not? Beta transfer time saving.
And saving,
50.
so it would pretty sure.
Don't tell me the
Sure, it would
pretty
be
sure.
fine.
I
think
don't
it would
want to
be
hear pretty sure. I want to know
Okay.
about the reason. What do you mean by pretty sure? 80% or 50%? That's not to answer question, okay? If you go to an interview, they don't like this kind of answer. Why? The only thing that people would ask when you go to an interview is why? Why? So why one is okay or not okay?
balance would be greater than the amount that they're trying to transfer, and they're both.
No. Balance is under, then they will actually withdraw a fee. Let's assume that that's not a problem.
Then either way, it should work because they're both the same. But beta transfer, that would be
So one
but
is one okay or not? Let's answer this first.
yeah. One's okay.
One's okay because
Well, they're both bank accounts. Oh, yeah. I guess they're both like.
time saving is saving account reference. B is bank account reference. Is that okay that you put a bank account to call the transfer and then put the saving account reference right here? Yes or no?
Like,
Can
the way
you
you're
put
asking me this question is a no.
Can you put this time saving reference to the bank account reference here or no?
Realistically, you should be able to because it's an extension of bank account.
So yes or no?
Yes.
Sure or not?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
It actually child field can be converted to a parent reference. So this is yes. Okay. The time saving put into here, okay. And this one is the transfer function defined in the bank account. So B is a bank account reference. B do transfer, that's no problem. So one is perfectly okay. How about two? Is two okay or not?
It would be fine as well. Yeah.
Can you put a checking account to bank account here? Yes or no?
Yes.
How about time saving to call this a transfer function?
Yes, because it inherits it from bank
Okay.
account.
How about C3?
Same story. So Dana's checking it should.
So this one is 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You check the reference, you should come out with the answer pretty quick. Okay. Okay. Number 10. I give you some pressure just because I want you to be sure. Okay. Number 10. Let me go back to Xavier. Xavier number 10. You have class teacher extend person. Okay. Everyone, when you come to the question, I may give you some pressure. The purpose is to make sure you understand it. Okay. Because sometimes you under pressure, you choose the wrong thing.
It's B, I think. Yeah.
How about one? Is that one okay or not?
No, because you need to use super to get the constructors.
The answer is that never inherit any constructor. Super is calling the constructor. It's not inherit the constructor. So When you see the word inherited, that's actually wrong. How about 2?
Yeah,
Teacher want to add any variable or method, that's no problem. No one prohibited. 3, is okay or not?
no,
Why not?
because like there's already a variable.
No. Anyone know why 3 is not okay?
Because the child class can't touch private things in a parent
Yes.
class.
It's talking about overriding the private method. Can you override your private method of your parent? You don't see it. How can you modify it? Private means that only the same class can see it. Your child class is not the same class, so you don't see it. Something that you don't see it, how can you override it? It's impossible. So this is 3 also wrong. So you are 2 only, okay? But don't just give me B. I know you are guessing, but we don't want you to just guessing, okay? I don't care the answer. Sometimes parents' book is wrong. Next one, let me have Maneni number 11. I know I'm a little bit tough in this kind of interview, but I'm trying to help you because you must undergo some kind of pressure so you will grow better, okay? So Maneni, how about which one is false? Tell me which one A is correct or wrong and why. Is A correct or wrong?
Correct.
A is wrong. A is already false. So why A is wrong? Why A is wrong? We say A is wrong, but why A is wrong? Anybody know?
It's like method overriding is the subclass and the
Yes.
And
It's
the other
between
one.
subclass and base class. It's between base class and subclass. It's not the subclass and subclass. Number 1, subclass and subclass, that's not overriding. You don't inherit your parent. You inherit your parent, but you don't inherit your brother. Your brother since nothing to do with you, that's not overriding. Right? Your brother become millionaire, but you cannot inherit from your brother for the $1 million. So 2 subclass method, you don't get the definition from your brother. So 2 subclasses, that's wrong. Second, overriding must be same parameter. You cannot be different parameter. It's the same function, same parameter, but different definition. So 2 parts are wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. So A already false. Any question?
No.
So let's read the rest of them. They are correct, but let's go over it. A primary method in the subclass is not in the superclass. It's not acceptable by the superclass. Your public method in the child class, how come your parent reference can use it? Of course not. So this is correct. A private method in superclass is not inherited by, of course, you don't see it. How can you get that private method? two different subclass of the superclass inherit the same measure of the superclass. Of course, they actually inherit the same function. Class 1 is a superclass of class 2. So class 1 is a superclass of class 2. Class 2 is the superclass of class 3. So class 2 has no overridden measure. So class 3 inherited all of the public measure of class 1. Of course, this is true. Okay? Essentially. You can verify it. Number 12. Okay, number 12, we have finished with Vanelli. Number 12 is Helen. Helen, hear me?
Yep. 1 is right because it's just casting up.
Mm-hmm.
2 is wrong because it's casting down, and you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 is right because it's just creating
Same
an
type.
object.
So 1 and 3, you just
Yes.
by object and reference, you will find out it's 1 and 3. This one is easy, just check the child object parent reference, that's fine. Parent object child reference, that's wrong. Same object, same reference, that's correct. Okay, just doing that, that's fine. Not
Yep.
hard. This one's supposed to be an easy problem. Number 13, let me have Elaine, number 13. You have bird, parrot, owl, parakeet. So there are some more code, and then which one will cause error?
I think A will cause an error because it says a print bird call is supposed to have a parrot P, but
Mhm.
bird 2 is like, yeah, it's under the bird class, so it won't work correctly.
So this has a parent. Actually, this one has a parent object passed to a child reference. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually cause error. So A is wrong. Okay. Number 14, go to Benjamin, number 14. These are two problems, 16 and 17, that you work on 16. Okay, you have to download the description, okay? Take your time, okay? So here, number 16, a program tests the classes like these different statements.
Wait, so am I supposed to do 14 or 16 and 17?
Only 16.
Okay, only 16. Okay. Wait, this one. Okay, so S1, S2, S3, S4. That line's fine. S1 new solid blob. That would be correct because that's the constructor. New sphere 3.8. That one would be fine as well. S3 new rectangular prism. Yeah, this one would work as well because it fits all the parameters. Wait, double L, yeah. And then S4 equals null. Just is it A?
The answer is A, of course. But why?
Because so new solid, so pretty sure the first line, the way they declared the solids is fine. S1 new solid blob, that one fits the solid constructor. The sphere constructor also works, sphere name, and then it needs a double.
So why this one's okay?
What, S3?
S2.
Yeah, so S3 is fine because integers can be, I guess, No, not typecast. What am I trying to just find the word for? And just last week, I can't remember the word for it. Integers can be doubles of, yeah. I know we learned this last week. I can't remember the word for it. Like integers can be like typecasted into doubles as well.
Yeah,
So
So?
so the 2 and 4 there would just become doubles, which would work. Or I guess like they could be typecasted into doubles as well. So
yeah, that's work. Don't repeat that. We know already.
okay.
So why S4 is correct?
You can you can declare variable as null, I'm pretty sure.
What's the purpose for doing that?
So just have no value.
Pointing to nowhere. Okay,
Yeah.
arcing the variable. So right here you have parents reference variable. S4 is correct if you don't assign ages to it. So the right hand side you will have the new child object or parent object. As long as the parameter list match the every data type, then it should be fine. And after you check, everything should be fine. So no error. Okay.
Okay.
Number 17, go back to Levia's number 17. So this one, you have the Soliman, you have the Primbalan, whatever over here. And then there's a free coin of something, and then choose the answer. So this one is like, what does this program do? Hello? Xavier, do you hear me?
Yeah.
You need more time?
Yeah.
Okay, take longer time for you. But you need to tell me A, B, C, D, E, which is correct or which is wrong. Which one you will pick and why? Especially why? We don't just accept one A, B, C, D, E. And I have to let you know this one a little bit tricky. So A, B, C actually give result. D has runtime error or some error. So tell me, will that create error or not? Then you can rule out maybe half of the selection.
No.
No error?
No.
Okay, no error, D and E are gone, right? Okay, now we
Yeah.
only have A, B, C. So what would be the answer for A, B, C? Which one and why? So you tell me which one is correct or wrong? Which one should we drop it?
B is wrong because it's a sphere or a box. It's a sphere or a box.
Is what?
Your
SOL being passed to a print button. Your print button is a solid reference. And then you call S star button. And what's wrong with B?
It should be a sphere or a box.
it should be a sphere or box. It already is a solid S. It already is a solid S, is a Sol reference. Sol is a solid type reference. So what should you describe this as B? What do you mean by neither this or not? So you call S Tabaran, what happened to this call? What happened to the S Tabaran? Okay, anybody know that what happened to S Tabaran? Okay, Xavier, you know, you talk about it.
Well, like, it's like, I'm not sure actually.
You're not sure. Anybody know? Anybody know? Hello?
Like, wouldn't solid be assigned to either a sphere or a rectangle?
And when you have S Tabaran, what happened?
Oh, it got like overridden by the.
So this one actually dynamic linking. So dynamic linking, you have solid reference, but you will get to call the function defined in sphere or rectangle. So it said neither nor box, that's wrong because you will have dynamic linking and you will call the function defined in the sphere or box. So B down. B down, you have A and C. Okay, go back to Xavier. Between A and C, which one you pick? Hi, Xavier, hear me?
Yeah,
Between A and C, which one you pick?
A is right
Number why C is wrong?
because it says a sphere.
What? Because you look at the answer. So A and C, which one is correct?
I don't really know what the difference is.
You don't know the difference? C says randomly, A no randomly. That's the only difference I can see.
But then it flips a coin, so then it is random whether the solid is a sphere or a rectangular prism.
Okay, so what happens? What should be the answer? What should be the answer?
I think it's A.
The answer is C is closer. A is okay because the book say A, but A is wrong. The book answer list is number 17. Number 17, it says A. The book say A, but that's a technically, both A and C, you can say that both are correct. But if we pick which one is closer to the answer, C is more closely the answer. Because C say randomly and A no randomly. You pick A because you know that A is the answer, so you insist on it. So your mentally is weak. You cannot insist something is correct. This one is a technical error for parents' book. So that means if AP exam put a same question like this, parents will be boo. Okay? You have to choose the answer based on what you know. And these two, if you pick which one is more closer to the real result, I would say C more specific. C said randomly. They do have a free point of the two and pick one based on the random choice. So you say randomly, this randomly is correct. A do not have a randomly, it's just say as intended. What does it mean by intended? You intended to print sphere or box? No, it actually intendedly using random. So here is that it actually print the button of a solid. Do they say that intendedly they want to do the randomly?
No.
No, they didn't say it. So actually, to me, C is closer than A. Right? So this as intended may not be a good description. Actually, C randomly is a better description. Right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you need to give people something that you can convince people. Not just like, okay, I know the answer is A, so that's actually put out some of the description that A is always correct. That's not academic study. That actually is fake. Okay? We train you to stand up for something you believe, not something people put in on your mouth. Okay? Next one, Manetti, number 18. So this one, you do have a function called compare to. Right? We just talked about compare to a moment ago. So what is the code segment in the client program that will cause error when you put into the compare to? Let me see, is that true? There's a player, there's a game move, there's a compare to. So which code segment in the client class? Client class is, okay, it's actually not in the compare to. It actually is another program that actually calling these two classes. So which one will cause error? 1, 2, 3. So tell me 1 okay or not, 2 okay or not, 3 okay or not. We pick those one that's not okay.
1
So-
and 2 are okay.
1 okay.
Yeah.
1 you have child object parent reference calling a function called getMove. getMove is a parent function, so parent reference calling it okay. Return integer assigned to an integer, that's okay. So 1 is okay. 2, you have integer x And then 2, your child constructor, child object, child reference, you pass to a child function. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's okay. And you get child one to get this child function to call parent function. So that's also okay. So 2 also okay. How about 3? Is 3 okay or not? And why look like 3 is not okay because someone had to cause error. So 3 must be not okay. Now, so 3, what's wrong? Where, okay, you have several lines. Tell me which line is wrong.
2 and 3.
2 and 3? No. 2 and 3 is the child object assigned to parent reference. That's that's okay. That's not wrong. Anybody know? Anybody know why 3 is wrong?
Because the player reference can't access compared to, because
Yeah.
compared to is in this.
Compared to is a child function. Your player is a parent reference. Parent reference cannot call a child function. So it's this compared to function that create trouble. So it's a C only. But then is that okay?
Yeah.
Must go through this process so your practice will pay off because we try to help you to work on it first. And then we want you to really understand why the answer is in that way. That's the purpose of the review, okay? The kind of the concept, we can talk about it a million times. These slices, we can talk about it a million times, but if you don't review with the problem, you don't really understand it, right? Benjamin, is that okay?
Yeah,
Do you think this kind of a review is meaningful or no?
I think it is. Yeah.
You help, right? Because
Yeah.
we go into the detail. We not just give you the answer A, B, C, D, okay? That's not the purpose.
Yeah.
Number 19, let me have, but then the next one is Helen. Helen, your turn. So
Hi.
number 19, which of the following compile with error? So what do it mean by compile with error?
Compile without error just means that like there's no.
There's a syntax error, right? Okay. So which one will cause syntax error?
I think it might be compile without error, like no
Without
syntax
error, I'm
error.
sorry. Compile without error. I'm sorry. I'm making a mistake. So which one would be correct then?
The first one is going to be fine because it's just animal going like animal. Yeah, right. The parameter is an animal. The second
Mhm.
one's also going to be fine because it's an animal casting into a dog, which
Mhm.
is like a child. And the same for the third one because it's just animal casting into a dog. So the answer is E, 1, 2, and 3.
So you have animal object, dog object assigning to animal reference. Okay, that's actually fine. So these are two animal reference. Animal reference being passed to the display function. Display function is where? Display function is in the client class, client function. So that accept animal reference. So animal reference being put here. Okay, so 1, 2 definitely. Oh no, okay. 3 is your dog reference pass to animal reference. That's actually also okay. So 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's correct. Number 20. Go back to Elaine, number 20. Okay. So this is number 20. What happened here? This one, you need to trace the program step by step. So tell me which line you will go to and then what happened, and which line you will go to, what happened. And then give us the answer. So you get started with start P equals new start 2. Then which will be the next line you will go to?
After you go to the string s equals str dot
No.
substring.
It doesn't go to there. The first one you go to is the constructor of the stop 2.
Okay.
There is no definition. No definition, what happened?
You go into like the content inside, or
No. Stop 2 constructor, no argument constructor, there is no definition, what happened? Anybody know?
It'll be like a default no parameter constructor.
Will give you a default no argument constructor, and then what will happen?
It'll call the super default.
You will call the super.
parameter
Yeah, that's
constructor.
what call the super. So you will call the super. So a function a constructor definition like this will happen, and you call super with no constructor. So you go to this one, and there is also no constructor there, right? That's okay. That actually finish that. So you finish this one, and then no argument constructor. That's actually also fine. Then the next one, you will go back to this one, the S equals this. Okay, now you then start continue from here.
okay, so string s would now equal RAB because it's substring 1 of crab.
So S will become equals RAB now. Okay, that's actually we got it. That actually is a print stop lane, and then super dot print S. This one you will call the print stop with RAB.
Yeah, okay, so
And
then
then you get the substring of 2. What happened?
so then it print out B.
So print out B. Okay, now you print out B. And then you finish this one. You go back to this, you finish this super print sub, you print S. So now your S is go back to RAB, so you BRAB. The answer is B, okay? So this one is a tracing program problem. You have to go through detailed tracing of each function. I need you to know that you call this a super no argument, because right here there's no super no argument constructor. If they do, you have to go there, right? Otherwise you are in trouble. Okay? Any question?
No.
Computer science is not mythology. Okay, you don't say I believe that, I have 190% believe in that. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay, that doesn't work. It's not mythology. It's not religion. Computer science is science. 21, go back to Benjamin. That would be our last question. Okay, this one look like is actually a two consonant between class 1 and class 2. Look like you will also go to the execution result. So tell me what happened line by line. Again.
Okay, so the first line it makes just makes a class 2.
Make
It just-
class same thing. You go to the no constructor.
Yeah.
And then you go to the no constructor, no argument constructor here.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen. So you basically create a C object of class 1 type.
Yes. And then once that
And then
happens,
you do something 8, what happened?
do something A, it does super dot do something A plus 3.
No. The question is, will you call this one or call this one?
Oh, it would call the class 2 one
Why?
because the variable's declared as a class 2. It says new class 2, right?
That's child object, but it's a parent reference. It's a class 1 level reference.
So
So
it
by
would call the one in class 1?
no,
So yeah, so it would call the
I
one in
question
class.
you, but not you don't switch your answer. You have to know why it happened. We talk about the whole day. This is called dynamic linking. You have a class 1 reference. You do something, you will call the version in class 2 because dynamic is defined in the subclass. Isn't that the whole day we are talking about dynamic linking and polymorphism?
Okay. So then it would call that, and then n would be.
Wait, stop. Do you understand now or no?
Yes.
You have child object parent reference. Your parent reference called do something. You have to determine the function whether it's called this one or called this one. You call the bottom one because your parent reference, when you determine the function, you use the object definition one. That actually is called dynamic, it's called polymorphism. So you do go to here and you do do something A plus 3. So you pass 11 to here, then you decrease by 4, then you actually become 7. So you print a 7 now, and then you return from supercode. At this moment, how much is your n?
Then you would be at 11
So it's 11
times 2,
times
which would be
2.
22.
That would be 22, and then you print that. So it's a 722. The answer is E. Okay.
Okay.
We are taught on every one of you because I need you to basically understand the detail. We cannot just believe that this is okay, that you sometimes will make an error, okay? We are reviewing, so we want you to really understand the problem and pick the best way to answer. So this kind of review is teaching you the exam taking skill, especially for the multiple choice selection, okay? And then you need to work on your FRQ, and we will grading you, okay? I'll grade them maybe early tomorrow and get back to your answer, okay? But you
Okay.
need to work on it. If you don't work on it, we have no way to basically grade on your FRQ. Okay, so Benjamin, why we do so many set of the FRQ? What's the purpose?
So you can like tell us what we should improve on.
But why so many problems?
So we can get better at them and also
because you need to know about more problem types.
uh
So if you miss too many exams, that means that you automatically did not practice on certain problem type. So those are problem type actually maybe a loop, maybe a 2D array, maybe something. If you don't work on them, then you lose your opportunity to practice. Okay? Xavier, do you hear me?
Yeah.
You must work on the problem type, then you can grow. If you don't want to do it, then you lose your opportunity to learn. Okay, every one of you the same. Don't think you are senior student and then I don't need that AP to pass. If you have some thought like this, please do not study computer science. So okay, you are going to have a trouble in college. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I try my best to actually give you the idea of what's going on. Okay, I may have sweetened you, but that's actually good for you. Okay, that's my job. My job is try the best way to encourage you to study. Okay, that's my job. Okay, good night. Bye bye.
good night.
All right, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye bye.